Hey guys, Damon over here at REIBlackbook, and today I want to kind of chat a little bit about the accountability chart. Now, again, this is going to be a little bit of carryover from the business growth class. And so what I'm working on is really building out a dynamic accountability chart for a real estate business. And I thought I might want to share this with you guys and certainly get your feedback. This will be a lucid chart document. I'm going to make it available so that you guys can have access to this thing. Just request that you actually copy it and don't make changes to really the document that I'm going to put out there, right? All right, so let me kind of chat a little bit about this. Now, one thing, whenever you look at this, you're like, oh, okay, well, that is an organizational chart. And although it does look like an organizational chart, it is different. And here's what's different about it, okay? So even if you are a one-man band, right? A solopreneur, okay? You're working by yourself, then all of these jobs, all of these functions still need to happen. So the accountability chart really lets us define the job roles and functions and the things that have to happen. And somebody needs to be accountable for each one of these job functions, okay? And so typically we've got marketing, and at the top we've got, this is ultimately what I call my leadership team right here for me personally. But again, if you're a solopreneur, your name is going to be in all of these boxes, all right? So what I've got here, and I want to show you how this chart's going to work, and I think it's going to be super helpful for you guys. This is always really eye-opening of everything that is involved in a transaction, okay? So the first thing, we've got marketing, then we've got our acquisitions team, we've got closing. If you're doing any sort of rehabbing, you'll probably need a project or construction department. Then we've got our dispositions, right? They're, again, going to be handling any of your retail sales and listings. They're going to be building your buyer's list, your presentations. Property management, if you're buy and hold. And then we typically have administration, right? So your administration has all your accounting, probably manage your private funding there, training, education, your information technology, and your HR, okay? So this is basically how you start really building a business, is you have to understand what are all the functions that are involved in your business, right? Now, if you're just wholesaling, you may not need this project construction, or you may not need property management here, okay? Here's the thing, okay? The thing that you have to kind of take into account is that only one person can really be responsible for each one of these boxes, okay? And that is absolutely why we call it the accountability chart. So I need to know who is responsible for inside sales, right? So who is responsible for responding to all of the incoming leads and managing those leads? Who is responsible for it? And it very well may just be you, but this is extremely important whenever you are working with a partner, okay? So when you're working with a partner, this is crucial because, like, so for instance, my wife and I, if we were just doing this and it was just her and I, then again, I would need to know, what is she doing and what am I doing, okay? There's lots of moving parts. There's lots of things in this business. Now, here's the other area why this is so helpful. Because as soon as you kind of put all of this down, then what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to come in, put a red X next to the things that you either hate doing or you're not very good at. All too often people come in and say, hey, Damon, I want to hire a VA. What should they do? And I'm like, well, that's really going to depend upon what you think you're really need, okay? Because some people absolutely love marketing. I, for one, I do love the marketing and the sales process. I really do enjoy that piece. The closing and the transaction coordination. So as soon as we get a contract, look, I'm the last person in the world that you want managing, the transaction and trying to coordinate that to get it all the way to the closing table. I would make a terrible construction manager, okay? Property management, I'm not too good at that either. Dispositions, okay, I can handle that. Administration, shoot me now, all right? So if I'm looking at this, probably the first person that I would personally hire for me would be a closing transaction coordinator, right? Because I don't mind the marketing. I love getting the sales, fine, but probably either hiring somebody right here, the transaction coordinator, or the other person or the other role that's really important too is that inside sales agent, okay? So it's going to help me determine, and here's the thing, guys, straight up. If I look at all this, marketing, no problem. inside sales agent. So actually managing every single lead that comes in. Now, of course, we've got automation to handle most of that, but look, you can't automate everything. It needs a human touch. So this is a people business. Now, I don't want to have to talk to people unless I know that they're already qualified and somebody's probably done the research on the property. And then, hey, yeah, schedule an appointment. I'd love to go out there and sit down and take on that process, right? So if I'm looking at it, for me, inside sales agent and transaction coordinator, those are going to be probably the first two things that I actually hire out. And then the other important thing to start understanding is that, you know, it is potential for that particular role that somebody that could be the inside sales agent could potentially be the transaction coordinator, depending upon how much volume you have. Okay, those skill sets are not too different. You're going to need somebody that is very organized and has strong administrative skills and is good on the phone, right? So if they've got really good organizational skills, really strong administration, and they're good on the phone, then I could probably have them be inside sales agent and a transaction coordinator, okay? But if they're not good on the phone and they're just super highly organized, then maybe a good transaction coordinator, but probably not a good inside sales agent, okay? So this is really important to start understanding, and I got to tell you guys straight up, I cannot tell you how important it is to get this identified, to clearly articulate, you know, what you enjoy doing, what you're really good at it. Don't go out and hire a VA, because I think most real estate investors, I've been doing this for a long time, most real estate investors make the mistake that they're going to go hire a VA and they think, oh, I'm going to have them do my marketing, I'm going to have them do my transaction coordinator, oh, and I'm going to have them do my bookkeeping, right? But normally a good marketer does not make a good transaction coordinator or an accountant, right? So that's typically it's right brain versus left brain type of personalities, okay?